Welcome to my channel. Have you ever received a phone call from a number that looks strikingly similar to your own, only to find out it's a telemarketer on the other end? Or perhaps you've been led to believe that you're logging into your bank account when in reality you've just handed over your credentials to a cyber criminal. These are examples of spoofing, a deceptive practice that's as cunning as a fox in a henhouse. Spoofing in the world of cybersecurity is a type of scam where an intruder masquerades as an unassuming entity to gain access to your personal information system or network. It's like a wolf in a sheep's clothing, pretending to be something it's not to achieve its devious goals. Before we dive into the most common types of spoofing, let's take a moment to understand some specific ones. This will give us a more comprehensive view of the cunning tricks employed by cyber criminals. First on our list is IP spoofing. This involves an attacker disguising their IP address or internet protocol address to appear as a trusted source, like a familiar website. Imagine a chameleon blending into its surroundings to avoid detection. In a similar vein, the attacker becomes virtually invisible, often leading to potential man-in-the-middle attacks where they intercept and potentially alter communication between two parties. Next, we have MAC spoofing. In this case, the attacker changes the media access control or MAC address of their network interface to pose as a trusted network device. It's like an imposter wearing a disguise to infiltrate a gathering. They seamlessly blend in, gaining access to restricted areas and sensitive information. Now let's talk about DNS spoofing. Here, the attacker redirects the domain name resolution request to a malicious site of their choosing. Imagine being led down a dark alley instead of the lit path you intended to take. In this dark alley, your personal information can be easily stolen. Lastly, there's ARP spoofing. This involves the attacker linking their MAC address with the IP address of a legitimate user on the network. It's like a con artist assuming the identity of a trusted individual to gain unwarranted access. This often allows them to intercept or modify data in transit. These are just a few examples of the many ways spoofing can occur. Each method is a different mask worn by the attacker, designed to deceive and exploit. Now let's look at some of the most common types of spoofing and how they are used in the wild. There are several types of spoofing and we'll dive into the most common ones. First on our list is caller ID spoofing. Picture this. You're sitting at home. When your phone rings, the caller ID shows a local number. So you pick up thinking it might be your neighbor. But instead of hearing Mrs. Johnson's voice, you're greeted by an automated message promising a free cruise. That, my friends, is caller ID spoofing. Cyber criminals use this tactic to trick you into picking up their calls. Next, we have email spoofing. This is when a cyber criminal sends an email pretending to be from a trusted source like your bank or a government agency. It's like getting a letter from Santa Claus only to find out it was your sneaky older sibling all along. The intent here is to trick you into disclosing personal information or downloading malware. Lastly, we have GPS spoofing. Here, a GPS signal is manipulated to make it appear as though it's coming from a different location. It's like your GPS suddenly deciding you're in Paris when you're actually stuck in traffic on the freeway. This can be used to trick drones, autonomous vehicles, or smartphone users. In summary, spoofing is a crafty tactic used by cyber criminals to deceive and gain access to personal information or systems. It comes in several flavors: caller ID spoofing, email spoofing, and GPS spoofing, also IP spoofing. Each type involves a deceptive disguise, tricking the victim into believing they're interacting with a trusted source. Remember, knowledge is power. Understanding spoofing and its types is the first step in protecting yourself from these cyber wolves in sheep's clothing. So the next time your phone rings or an email pops up, take a moment to think. Is this a genuine communication or are you dealing with a master of disguise? Please subscribe to my channel and like and share this video. Thanks for your time. See you with another topic very soon. Happy learning.